Most economies around the world experienced a sharp recovery towards summer. But the momentum of the recovery has already started to decelerate after the summer break because of two drivers. Driver number one, the COVID-19 pandemic is still like a sword of Damocles hanging over the head of businesses and consumers. Driver number two, the risk of unemployment has increased. So all in all, businesses and consumers prefer increasing their savings instead of consuming and investing. What does that mean in terms of GDP? Cofas expect GDP to be still below its pre-crisis level in the US and in Europe by the end of 2021. In other words, it means that the size of the pie will be lower for longer. And it means that we can expect more distribution conflicts and hence more political risk in the months and the quarters ahead. At Cofas, we used to measure and to quantify the risk of social unrest by factoring in, on the one side, the level of frustration of the population by looking at income inequalities, unemployment, the jobless rate, the level of corruption. And on the other side, the number of tools the population has to express this frustration. And by tools, we mean, of course, the access to the internet, the level of urbanization, or the level of education, among others. And by combining both, we find that Iran is still at the top of the ranking in terms of social unrest risk, and Turkey is not far away, also in the top 10 regarding social risk. But this time is different. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people in a lot of countries could turn against their government if they feel dissatisfied with the way their government is handling the sanitary crisis. So by looking at countries where the population is more exposed to this crisis, we have constructed our own indicator by factoring in the number of new cases in each country, the number of casualties relatively to the population, and we have also taken into account the strictness of lockdown measures in each country. And so by looking at both our usual social risk index and this new measure of frustration related to the COVID-19 pandemic, we find that a lot of Latin American countries are at risk at the moment: Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, Peru. Outside of Latin America, South Africa is also at risk. And among major economies, Spain and the US needs to be monitored.